What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what the technicals are suggesting so far, what's going on with the economic calendar coming out for tomorrow, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I get into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Looking at SPY, we had a very crazy day today, very beautiful for scalping, but it was quite tricky with lots of manipulation at the very end of the day. So SPY pumped, came down. It was basically hovering around the 200 EMA on the 5 minute time frame for today. It touched it, bounced, touched it, bounced. We got a break to the downside, and we started to look kind of weak towards the end of the day. But then during the last 10 minutes, we saw this crazy pump from 475.16 up to 476.69. A crazy pump to give us a green close, and the buyers are still defending as they technically have the edge right now. So it's very crazy manipulation, crazy price action, and the market's still holding up. It's looking like they may try to keep it up until the year ends, and then after the new year comes, that's when the market may end up turning. That's what it's starting to look like to me. This was just a very wild day. So I want to break down some manipulation that happened and also how Tesla and other stocks are looking in just a couple of minutes. But first, let me just mention that tomorrow, be prepared because 1 hour before the market opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have initial jobless claims coming out. It's continuing jobless claims, and a bunch of jobs data is coming out 1 hour before the market opens. We want initial jobless claims to be between 210 and 207,000. Anything too high could kind of like rattle the markets a bit, but overall, it's going to most likely be very close. That's what the last numbers have been looking so far. And then besides that, we have home sales data at 10 a.m. At 11:30 a.m., we have the 4 week and the 8 week bill auctions. That's pretty much it for data. All the data is going to be minor after that, but just be prepared for some high volatility an hour before market opens, as we're going to see a reaction to initial jobless claims. Now, besides that, for Friday, we just have PMI. Then we're going to be looking at the last trading day of the year. Friday is going to be a pretty big day, so we'll see how it goes. Right now, it looks like the market wants to hold up very nicely, get a strong close, and we may just end up seeing that. For the fear and greed index, this is at extreme greed right now. It's still at those extremes, seeing market momentum in the same place, and the puts and call positioning. Nothing is changing thus far. Even the VIX is still very, very flat, very low, not really giving us much of an update. And this is very important because the market is still turning greedy. We're seeing buyers defending and stepping in. These extremes tend to suggest that a pullback could be coming in the future, but that doesn't mean anything about right now. The market could still hold these levels for another week or so, could even hold it for another 2 weeks. Even though this does suggest a pullback is coming in the future, there's no sign of it starting just yet, so we can't turn bearish until we truly get confirmation. Now, right now, the Dow Jones closed 100 points higher. The S&P 500 is getting close to its record. These headlines are getting investors excited. If we break a new all-time high, people are going to get so excited on the S&P 500, especially for other indices out there. Very exciting stuff, so far. So now let's break down the charts, what's going on. And I just want to call this out. We had this rising wedge forming on SPY, but there's no guarantee that this will even play out, at least for the short term, because this could just be the results of manipulation, getting retail to short. So far, this hasn't really led to like this big drop or anything like that. Now, on SPY, it looks to me like we're still bullish. It's still making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Even broke the high we saw from yesterday. It is still on a nice uptrend. So I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of like gap down tomorrow and we see a big reaction to like initial jobless claims. We gap down during the pre-market, then we react to jobless claims. If we keep holding above 476, we're gonna be looking for a push for 478. It could just keep going higher and higher and higher, and then we could get a drop maybe starting next year. But for now, we're not ready for that. And as long as we hold above 476, there's potential for 478. If we break below 476, make sure you watch that support right over here at this 475 area. We need to try to hold that. If we fail to hold that, then we have 474.8 to 474.5 coming and lower levels like that. Overall, SPY is, in my opinion, bullish. It's favoring the bulls now, especially after this last minute push. There's a lot of manipulation, though, especially as we're approaching the end of the year. Lots of tricky price action. Just look at how we move today. But overall, it's still bullish. And if as long as we hold 476, look for a push for 478, it's still favoring the bulls a bit more. Now, For the QQQ, we have a similar formation. We have this rising wedge-like pattern, but there's no sign of this breaking down yet, especially after the last-minute push. There's a good chance that these players in the game, these institutions, are going to try to hold the market up approaching the end of the year. If you want to be bearish, you want to see this thing lose 409. So far, it hasn't done that. We have support at 410 and 409. There's also some support at this 411.5 area. Now, for bullish, you want to see it break 412. If that breaks, our next target is going to be around this 413 area. In my opinion, the QQQ is looking bullish and it has a very, very nice uptrend so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing continues to try to break 412 going into tomorrow, especially towards the end of the day where the market tends to pump quite a bit too. For Tesla, we're looking quite nice on Tesla, and here's exactly why. So if you look at Tesla, on a bullish break, I was talking about this big test yesterday. If we broke 258, expect Tesla to push up more. And if we broke the yellow trend line, expect a big push. We have this orange trend line. This was our resistance. I drew this out historically. And then we also have the yellow trend line, which is going to be our next support. And look at how Tesla held up, right? So in the past, where my cursor is, we held the yellow trend line. We held it, we bounced, came below it, treated this as resistance, came down. We managed to break above it, and we're back. So now what happened? When you zoom in, you could see that basically we pushed, hit this orange trend line, we came back down towards the yellow one, we bounced off that, and we might just continue to uptrend from here in a very, very nice fashion. So if anything, Tesla's looking quite decent, got a nice uptrend going. Let's see if it holds the yellow trend line. And overall, the chart is looking bullish in my opinion. So it's looking quite good, favoring the bulls a bit more, and we'll see how this moves going forward. But overall, nice trend, nice hold of the trend line. I think that Tesla has upside coming. It might just hold up for the end of the year as there's a lot of hype with the deliveries. To turn bearish, you want to see it lose 260. Hasn't done so yet. It held very nicely today, if anything, and the odds favor this thing uptrending more and trying to push it for 265 plus. For finally, Apple stock, then I'm going to break down Nvidia and Apple before I talk about the other charts. Apple is trying to break out, but it actually failed to get a confirmation for breakout. So we had this falling wedge. It's trying to break from here. To be bullish, you want to see this thing try to break 193.5 and get up to 194.4, establish a lower high, and just start uptrending like this. This will be a bullish breakout, and Apple could achieve that, but hasn't happened yet. There's no confirmation yet of this thing truly breaking out. It kind of fell to close above 193.5, and we need to see if we could get that follow through move. Now, for support, watch 192.5, and then we have 192, and then 191. In my opinion, Apple might attempts to break out, but we have to watch for confirmation. I do favor it trying to break out, but we just have to wait and see just to be safe. Nvidia looks bullish overall. It looks like it has a nice inverse head and shoulder structure on the daily. And although it has like a rising wedge like pattern, we have this imbalance to fill. We didn't fill it yet. But there is definitely potential upside as we could get very close to 500 to close the year on a very strong note. So I could see this thing uptrend slowly and get very close to $500. It's on a nice uptrend, so we'll be watching to see if we could get all the way up there. So for now, look for a nice bounce on Nvidia. Let's see if Nvidia could hold this support right here. If it breaks down, watch 490 support and 488. 488, if that breaks, we could turn bearish. As of right now, it hasn't done that. If we're bullish, we want to see it continue to uptrend and basically break above 497. If that breaks, then we have 500 coming. So in my opinion, it could approach 500. I think there's a good chance of this thing uptrending more, and I'm very excited to see what Nvidia is going to do. In my opinion, is looking bullish overall. Now, that's it for the main five I typically talk about. I just want to talk about a couple of others very, very quickly. So for SoFi, we have a nice uptrend as well. I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame for this. This is looking bullish to me because it's continuing to break out. We're going to be looking for a test of $11 very, very soon. I'm going to look at the daily time frame too. We have this very important area right here, this $11 area right here where my cursor is. Then we have 11.7 coming. In my opinion, it looks bullish. It's going to try to make its way up to 11. There could be more upside coming. The IWM, we called out 205 yesterday. We actually reached that and we're trying to break out even more. If it keeps breaking out, you're going to be looking for a push towards, I could see this thing get close to 210 technically. Let's see if it could break this resistance right here at 208 and then get to 210. So in my opinion, IWM still looks bullish. Look for a push for it to get very close to 210. Microsoft kind of flat right now. Not a whole lot's going on, but we're getting closer to a bullish cross in the PPO. I think it's going to range trade between 370 and 376, going back and forth and back and forth. Might try to push a little bit tomorrow as we got a green candles to close. We might see this thing close just around 375. It's very flat, though not the best for trading. AMD, we said it was bullish yesterday. It's bullish again, approaching that 150 target. I think we could see AMD reach 150. Very, very strong uptrend. Could continue even higher. For the VIX, there's not a whole lot going on. It's still looking kind of weak on the daily. If this thing continues to drop, watch it come down to 11.8. Still looking kind of weak. For SPX, we're looking bullish overall. In my opinion, this thing has potential to break to new all-time highs. I could definitely see it. Nothing is stopping SPX. It's once again leading SPY up there. SQQQ is looking kind of weak. It attempted to bounce, but then it ended up just failing, if anything. Back at 13, still looking kind of weak. No sign of a true bounce yet. Dollar is getting weaker. It's now down to 100.9. If it continues to downtrend, this could be bullish for the markets, still favoring the bulls a bit more for the stock market. Coinbase got a monstrous bounce after bullish news came out. It looks like 190 is coming. If all of those levels break, especially because it got above the 200 EMA on the weekly time frame, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing approach 200 to 206. So watch for 190. If that breaks 200 is coming, then 206 looks bullish overall. For Google, Google is currently kind of like flat right now. Let me just show you guys the charts. I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame just to show you this. We were talking about this thing retesting 141. It's looking a little bit bearish right now. I could see it get very close to 140 and then try to bounce. I could see 139.5 to 140 then a bounce, and I think it's going to retrace a bit more than bounce. That's what I'm predicting for it. For Amazon, very flat like a pancake. Not a whole lot is going on. I could see it retest basically 151.5 and then bounce, but it's very flat. It's not really doing a whole lot. It's kind of stuck right now. As far as Meta goes, Meta is very flat, kind of green. I would say that this 360 area is going to be a nice resistance level. I think that it could push towards 360 and then just trade sideways. So it looks very flat to me. It's been flat for the last couple of days. It's going to likely continue on that trend. So that being said, guys, there was a lot of trickery with this like rising wedge forming on Nvidia, on SPY, and etc. It could continue to develop it going into the end of the year, but I think that the market's going to try to close the year on a strong note. And I think that's, there's more upside coming. So I really anticipate some more upside. I think that as long as SPY holds 476, 478 is a reasonable target. My mind could change if we end up closing below 475, but for now, we're still holding up and favoring the bulls. All right, so that's what I have for this video. Hopefully, this video was very, very helpful. Try to make this one kind of short, just so that you guys have like a very quick update. Have a great day, guys. Please enjoy what life has to offer. Remain calm, cool, and collected. I will see you guys in the next one very, very soon. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day and peace out.